name is Bobi Lyon, and as recreation leader for the Borough of Wildwood Crest, I'm putting together this yin, slightly yang, mostly yin, intuitive yoga practice using two books, Insight Yoga with Sarah Powers and Healing Yoga as resources, and then just trusting my intuition as I move into the practice today. So I had a little snafu with previously posted video with some music that was playing, so it's blocked from being played on both Facebook and YouTube. I do have it saved in my archive, so I could probably direct email the video if anyone wants it. But we'll just move on in the present and start today here on Friday, April 24th. So begin by finding a seated asana. If you choose Sukhasana, this crisscross applesauce cross-legged position, I'm not overly concerned with which foot's closer to the groin and which one is in front, or how close they are, or you could put a pillow under your bottom. And remember that you're doing this practice today voluntarily, and if anything gives you that uh-oh, no sensation, simply modify or visualize or adapt and get ready to move into something new. So we shall start. Find your steady, comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to close down. And tuning into this moment in time, notice sensation, whatever it is you're feeling, and we'll come to what feels as if it's our best center on this day. So not looking in particularly to change anything, just notice the thoughts. Whatever it is you're thinking, allow yourself to be in a mode where you are not reacting to the thoughts. Just letting them come, letting them go. Begin to fix the gaze. In yoga, that's known as the drishti. So it could be turned down towards the tip of the nose, or up toward the third eye space, or a little half gaze with the eyelids just slightly open to allow for some light. And in so doing, if they're open just slightly, you have both a vision of the inner and outer world. Just try all three momentarily. Let the eyes drift down towards the tip of the nose. Eyelids closed, and see how that feels. And then turn them up towards the third eye space, still closed, and see how that feels, if that adds a little brightness, or even perhaps without labeling it. Just notice the differences. And then let them open just a little. Kind of that sleepy-eyed, on the verge of awakening, a feeling, sensation. And see how that feels. And then kind of picking one, stay there. Notice whatever you notice about posture, how the body is feeling. Letting the tongue rest in the palate of the mouth. And again, some options. It can lie just behind the teeth and feel a fullness in the mouth. Resting the tongue in the bottom of the palate. Lips just touching teeth, not clenching. Or alternatively, touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth just behind the teeth. And notice in so doing how any sense of restriction or tension in the throat area changes. And then pick one for today's practice. So with the gaze fixed and experiencing a softening in the mouth, releasing tension from the jaw, bring your awareness to the right ear and the right side of the neck. Maybe down into the right shoulder, into the front of the chest in the heart area, heart center area, and the right back shoulder and the right armpit. And notice a slight bend at the elbow and how that energy feels in the right arm. And shift that awareness back to the right ear. And then move it over to the left ear. And down through the neck and shoulder. And the left front area of the chest and heart center. Around to the back body. Down the upper arm through the bend of the elbow. And the left hand. And then coming back to the center, to the gaze. And the tongue resting in the palate of the mouth. And the throat and chest. And back body, and breathe in through the nose and exhale from the nose. And breathe in through the nose. Exhale from the nose. Likening the breathing pattern to that of a scuba diver, not holding your breath either in or out, maybe a gentle pause, but just listening to the body and listening to the breath. And one more time, increasing the awareness, increasing the length of both the inhalation in duration and the exhalation in duration. And one more time, soften the back, soften the belly. And breathe that air in through the nose. Feel the quality of the air coming in through the nose, striking the back of the throat, filling the back, chest, belly expanding. Feeling the central axis, the sushumna. And then exhale, release the hands down by your sides, palms facing up and out. Inhale the arms up. Exhale them out. Inhale them up. Exhale them out. Inhale them up. Stretch up a little bit more. Inhale more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Release the weight of the head. Raise the head, inhale. Drop the head, exhale. Raise the head, inhale. Drop the head, exhale. Lift the body, inhale. And bring the hands right in front of the chest, resting the thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky against one another. Elbows by your side body, in front, breathing in. Fixing the gaze, feel the tongue rest in the palate of the mouth. And set an intention for today's Friday practice on this Venus day, this day full of love. And allow that intention to be full of goodness for yourself. And know that in turn and in time it also ripples out to the people that live in your home, on your street, making up your neighborhood, your community, outward into the county, rippling further through the state, country, continent, and across oceans globally. And then open the thumbs outward, pinkies touch one another. And just turning the eyes down towards the palms of the hand, envisioning a soft ball of light. And then placing the right hand on top, gather that light into the hands, pull it close to the chest. Stay with deep breaths. And then left hand facing down, right hand on top, thumbs pointing outward, creating a little fishy mudra. Just send that light and love from the heart outward. Metaphorically. Bring the hands down, exhale, inhale them up. Exhaling with the sound of Om. Pause momentarily in front of the heart. Inhale. Exhale the hands down, inhale them up. And one last time, exhaling, hands down, inhaling up, chanting Om along with me. Thereby opening some channels, some meridians. Interlace the fingers, press them forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to one side. Inhale up and over to the other side. Inhale up. Both arms coming up, right thumb under the left, splay those fingers open. Exhale, round the low back gently. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, round the low back gently. Inhale, straighten the spine, pushing upward, outward through the fingers. Keeping the spine erect. Exhale, hands down, fingers face the buttocks, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chin, release the thighs, and pressing up, coming forward. Keep the knees fairly wide. And we're going to cross one hand, palm facing up, under the body, drop the hips back and the body down to the floor. And just pause here for a bit of time. You could stay here as long as 2, 3, or 4 minutes, even up to 20. Feel the weight of the body, noticing whatever thoughts are going on. Make any tiny little adaptations and adjustments. In recognition that life is always changing. And you could change your attitude and adapt the body to fit the situation. So while here, notice whatever it is you notice. This in particularly is good for the lungs, the back, and the heart. Not being in judgment for how the asana feels. If it feels as if it's a struggle, just be with it, genuinely and affectionately with the struggle. Listen to what you are being informed with, being educated by. And breathe very deeply, as best as you are able to, within the confines, the structure of this asana. Release the hand, inhaling up. Pause the video if you would like to stay longer. Exhale the opposing arm under and come on back. Breathing in fully and out fully. Sometimes something that we could call a jazz breath also is of help, where you just breathe in short spurts and then exhale, or exhale short spurts. and then inhale. But just notice the quality of the air, the quality of the breath. And how it feels on this side, making any little adaptations and adjustments. Allow yourself to have a time without labeling it. A quiet time, a fun time, a long time. Just have a moment in time. And then slowly coming up and out of it. We're going to slide down onto the floor. Elbows under the shoulders. And just lift the head. Feel the hands against the ground. Thumbs pointing in, index fingers straight, other 3 fingers splayed. Just resting the pelvis on the ground. Legs splayed out slightly. Feel the weight of the thighs, the soles of the feet upward. Elongate the legs. Make any tiny little adjustments. Stretch the spine up and out of the pelvis. And pause. Fix your gaze. You might reinvestigate. Do you want it down towards the tip of your nose? Up towards the third eye space? Or just letting a little bit of light in to illuminate the outer world as well as the inner world. Feel the musculature along the spine. And feel the breath. And then again, allow yourself time. Here, now, in the present. Letting the breath get very similar to a breath you might have during the course of a very sound sleep. Remember not to be fighting the Sphinx pose. Not forcing or pushing, but creating space for more and greater allowance. Release the body down, extend the arms outward at a Y, forehead to the ground. then slide up, slide the arms in a little bit, press into those hands, keep the hands and arms long, press into the fingers rather than the heel of the hands, feel the ground, and pause in seal. Fix the gaze, release some of the tension from the buttocks if you're holding there in a way that feels as if it might be too much. And just pause, taking time. I'm going to be pulling in some of the thoughts of David White, one of his poetry books called The House of Belonging. So our body can be seen much like a temple, a house that we inhabit, a house where we belong. Just notice what you notice here. If the asana begins to feel as if it's too much, modify. You could take it back down towards Sphinx, or just spread those arms out at the Y and lie flat on the belly. This is quite an intense stretch. Strength. Feel the tone of the muscles. Ears coming up and away from the shoulders. Stretching through the belly, back, legs, arms, across the forehead. Breathing fully. For about 2 more breaths, wherever you're at. And then exhale slowly down. Stretch those arms out again at a Y. And either taking your forehead to the ground or turning onto the side temple. Just taking a couple of big deep breaths. Before sliding your hands back under the armpits in line with the chest. And then take it back to child's pose. Release the forehead. Release the wrists. Feel the forearms. Make any little adjustments. And snuggle up against the earth below, whether you are on your yoga mat or a carpet or even on the bed. Simply, I'm going to roll over to just show you how child's pose is actually also like this, but done in reverse. So if being on your knees feels problematic, just lie on your back, stretch those arms out, chin in towards the chest, and pull the knees in. So momentarily, I will flip back to child's pose, and if you have made that adaptation, stay there. So from here, we're just going to take one hand back, rest it palm facing upward on the low back. And raise the hips. If you are on your back, place your hand on the belly and just have one arm up overhead. So those are a modification. We're going to stay here for a bit. And then switch to the opposite side. Left arm in front or overhead. Hand on your belly if you're on your back, or on your back side if you are on your knees. Staying in the current of the breath, noticing your gaze, your awareness, gathering information from your body. And then whether you are on your back or front, we're going to come up to a straddle position. Feel the pelvis like a basin. The straddle doesn't have to be extremely wide. Take note of how the hamstrings are feeling on this day. The energy in the quads, the belly. And then we are going to move over to one side. So rotate the shoulders a bit. You can go to whichever side you would like to go to first. And take the belly towards that leg. And just hang out. You can take the time to do a scan of the soles of the feet, of the toes, of the ankles, of the area from the knee down, within the knee itself, and the thigh, and again the pelvis as a basin is leaning forward, being with the breath, fixing the gaze either to the third eye space or the tip of the nose, or just little slits of the eyes. Release the head in lateral dragonfly pose. Hear the breath. Feel the breath as life. It's really keeping the lungs awake and alert. And then coming up, going over to the opposite side. Belly toward the thigh. Rest the awareness on the sole of the foot, the toes, the foot itself, ankle, the area from the knee down, the knee itself, the energy in the thigh. Release the weight of the head. Feel the gaze. Tongue in the palate of the mouth, resting. And the quality of the breath entering the body and leaving the body. And if you feel like coming out, back off a little bit, but stay put and gather more information. Listen to the wisdom of the body. And then coming back up, slide your feet together. Sit momentarily, see how everything is feeling. And we're going to move into snail pose. It reminds me of a nautilus shell. Slide your hips towards the buttocks, roll down onto your back, and just pull the knees inward towards the chest. You can take your hands down by the buttocks, palms facing down. Challenge to raise the hips up. And then drop the knees back down by the ears. And breathe. If snail pose is not feeling particularly comfortable, depending on how the belly's feeling or what you've had to eat or your age and your bones, just lie with your legs coming in, wrap the arms around. And another alternative would be to take your feet apart about hip width and just curl the head in. Round the spine. And breathe. Really feel a nice roundness in the upper back. Fix the gaze. Feel the breath. And allow yourself to be comfortable with any discomfort that's not painful discomfort. Not judging, just being here. And then let the soles of the feet come together. Coming up to sitting if you're still on your back in snail. And we're going to go into a modified fish. So with the soles of our feet together, slide your fingers back, come down after finding a good adjustment onto the forearms. I'm going to stretch the chest up and drop the head back. Feeling the front of the body quite vulnerable, exposed, like a fish out of water perhaps. Feel the weight of the head. It's heavy. The weight of the head's about 15 pounds, so it can pull upward on the spine, lifting up on the chest, pushing with an arched back slightly. Let the knees splay open. Feel the palms of the hands on the ground. Fix the gaze. Feel the breath. Stay for a while. And then coming up, lift the weight of that head slowly, come up. Take it back down onto the back. Pull the knees in. Place the feet down. Take the arms out to a T and then decide, does it feel better to have palm facing down or palm facing up? Palm facing down or palms facing up? Which feels better to your shoulders? From here, extend the right leg long, pull the left knee in and roll gently onto the right hip, letting the left hip come up and the left shoulder staying back. Nice and easy. Getting the experience of that wringing out. You can keep the right knee soft. And breathe fully in as well as out. I sometimes like to have my hands in opposing, like right hand down, left hand up. Internally rotating with the right shoulder, externally rotating with the left shoulder. But be careful with whatever feels detrimental to your body and don't go there. Just pausing, twisting, remember in the ribs as opposed to the low back. We like a lot of stability in the low back. The ribs, however, love to twist. But just hang out, opening across that chest through the shoulder. Breathing, feel the belly, fix the gaze, tip of the nose, third eye space or a little half gaze, tongue in the palate of the mouth, resting. Just experiencing this as quite restorative. And then come up, pull the knees in, extend the left leg long, take the right leg over, adjust those shoulders. So here I will rotate my right palm up, externally rotate through that right shoulder, and internally rotate through the left. Soften the left leg if necessary for greater comfort. And then just experience the twist, not in the low back, keep the low back stable, but in the rib cage. Try to isolate places where you could have more ease in the body. Settle there. Go easier. One more breath. Extend out through those arms. And then coming back gently, slowly. Pull both knees in, take the forehead to the knees. A little on the back. Come back to the center, place the feet down, inhale, arms overhead. Raise the toes up off from the ground. Press the heels down into the ground. Let the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot, the toes come down. Press into the toes, raise the heel. And then rock through the foot. Toes up, heels down. Ball down, toes down, heels up. On repeat, inhale, exhale. Heels down. Bring the feet right together. Let the knees drop open, soles of the feet together. Continue stretching through those arms, but bend them like a goalpost. And then roll over and allow the hand to come down. Bring it up. Inhale and down. Exhale and up. Inhale and down. Exhale. Up. Inhale and down. Exhale. Up. Inhale. Last one. And then bring them in. Exhale. Out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Press the thumbs down into the third eye space, elbows together. Let the weight of the hands put a little pressure right in that third eye space. Release the hands. Press the thumbs into the temple area. Rub the hands together. Rest the thumbs on the temple and the heels of the hands on your eyes. Release the legs long and the arms, palms facing up at your sides. You might even, if you had taken them off, put your socks back on. I want you to be nice and warm for your Shavasana. Maybe even a blanket. And just stay put. I will be coming back to a seated position. The house of belonging. I awoke this morning in the gold light, turning this way and that, thinking for a moment it was one day like any other. But the veil had gone from my darkened heart, and I thought it must have been the quiet candlelight that filled my room. It must have been the first easy rhythm with which I breathed myself to sleep. It must have been the prayer I said, speaking to the otherness of the night. And I thought, this is the good day you could meet your love. This is the black day someone close to you could die. This is the day you realize how easily the thread is broken between this world and the next, and I found myself sitting up in the quiet pathway of light. The tawny, closed-grain cedar burning round me like fire. And all the angels of this housely heaven ascending through the first roof of light the sun has made. This is the bright home in which I live. This is where I ask my friends to come. This is where I want to love all the things it has taken me so long to learn to love. This is the temple of my adult aloneness, and I belong to that aloneness as I belong to my life. There is no house like the house of belonging. So in time, come out of your Shavasana, bringing awareness to wherever it has been, wherever you have been in the soma or thoughts of special places that you like to go. Bring a little movement to the fingers, to the toes. Circle the wrists and ankles. And then pulling one knee close to the body. Switching out, pull the other knee close to the body. Pull them both close to the body, rock a little side to side. Roll to one side. Notice sensation, whatever it is you feel, however it is you're acknowledging that sensation. Push back up to a seated position. And I'll leave you with one more thing. It's a favorite of mine. It helps reduce tension across the forehead, neck, jaw, while stimulating the vagus nerve. So we call it the ear pull. I was first introduced to it by T.S. Little at a conference in New York City. So we're just going to take hold, thumbs behind the earlobe in the back and index finger in front. Take just a slight grip and pull down, gently pinching. Just notice how that feels. Release and take your index finger just behind, sort of in the ear, but not quite, but just behind that little knobby by the inner hole, and push forward. Notice sensation, any changes, and how that little bit of added pressure as you push forward has an effect on your body. And then index finger behind the ear, thumb on the outside, and pull up. And then thumb still behind the ear, index finger in front. Sort of grab the back of the ear nicely and pull back. So those first 4 directions, there are 6 in total. You'll pull down on the ear, press gently forward, take hold of the top, pull up, grab hold of the back, pull back, and then the final 2 are insert the finger a little bit into the ear and press forward. If you were to open and close your mouth, you feel that hinge of the jaw. And then do a 180-degree turn of the finger. Elbows can come a little forward and push backward. Woo! So in succession, pull down, push forward, pull upward, take hold, pull backward, ear in the finger, push forward, 180-degree push backward, and then pause and notice any differences in how you feel after doing those 6 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, as treats go, I'm not sure if the ear pull is my favorite, or maybe this Moonstruck from Portland, Oregon, nutty milk chocolate cinnamon 31% cacao chocolate bar is gonna be later on today. So have a brilliant Friday. Namaste, and thank you for practicing yoga.